Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Natalia Moczulska and this is the news. This week, the European Parliament once again attacked Poland. The resolution passed wants to block the creation of a commission to investigate Russian influence, challenges the legitimacy of the Constitutional Court, and wants international scrutiny of the fall parliamentary elections.
Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki condemned the resolution targeting Poland. He also recalled that opposition MEPs had voted against changes proposed by Law and Justice MEPs that would have unblocked disbursements from the Reconstruction Fund. My appeal to you, to the Civic Platform, do not play along with what Berlin and Brussels say. I am speaking to Civic Platform deputies. There is nothing worse than snitching on your own homeland abroad. Mateusz Morawiecki, another outrageous speech in the same. I am all the more pleased with the resolution of our European Parliament. Control of elections in Poland is a necessity. Such is the opposition we have in Poland. We don't care about it, nor will we be frightened by it, nor will they bribe us with something like promises. I'm talking about the European Commission here. We have to stand firm in our guarding of Polish independence, the Constitution, and our economic strength. Poland is under attack for trying to investigate Russian influence in the country. A similar commission was established in France. Towards this body, Brussels did not make any problems. There is such an example of pouring regular sand into the cogs of the government since 2016, and the opposition wants to harm the government, but it harms Poland because it has in effect created such an impression that there are problems in Poland at every turn with the rule of law and media freedom. The resolution targeting Poland attacks the Constitutional Court. The current Polish Constitutional Tribunal is illegal. Fortunately, the resolution is only of a moral nature. Despite the fact that the content of the resolution is of a moral nature, in my opinion, it inspires rulings, if only by this Luxembourg court, as the case of, for example, Judge Igor Tulej shows. The authors of the resolution also dislike increasing the number of election commissions and the state's provision of transportation for residents to the polling places. I have the impression that this is a bit like political suicide for the European Parliament in terms of image. I think that the authors of this resolution are counting on the fact that in Poland and Europe, the public opinion is polarized or set in stone, and that people who have their political sympathies will not change them anymore, even when they see something so outrageous. Among the MEPs voting against Poland were politicians caught up in a corruption scandal. Eva Kaili and Mark Tarabella have returned to the parliamentary benches despite an ongoing investigation and accuse Poland of lacking the rule of law. When the Poles voted to join the European Union, they did not dream of the possibility that one day it would be this European Union that would come to the defense of Judge Tulej's son, the marriage of the Esbeks or Judge Juszczyn, the son of the communist volunteer reserve, the citizens' militia, as those most democratic and law-abiding Polish judges. Since Law and Justice took power, the European Parliament has repeatedly supported the opposition in Poland. Earlier resolutions were designated by the Fight Impunity Foundation, whose president, Pier Antonio Panzeri, is one of the main characters in the corruption scandal. I think there will be more and more such resolutions until the elections, perhaps even daily in the end. This one, I believe, is already the 40th resolution. There seems to be no other idea in left liberal circles in the European Union on how to help their elected people. In June 2022, Ursula von der Leyen reached an agreement with President Andrzej Duda to reform Poland's Supreme Court. Despite the changes, Poland has not yet received the funds due to us from the National Reconstruction Plan.
South Korean President Yoon is on a visit to Poland. Today, together with President Andrzej Duda, he participated in the Polish-Korean Economic Forum. I look forward to an even greater intensification of the presence of Korean investors in Poland, President Duda said, and pointed out that the Republic of Korea is one of the leading non-European investors in our country.
The Republic of Korea is currently one of the absolute leading non-European investors in the area of our country. It is with satisfaction that I note the involvement of Korean entrepreneurs in key areas of the Polish economy, although I make no secret of the fact that I hope for an even greater intensification of your presence in our market, which after all is also the market of the European Union. At the same time, I would like to draw the attention of our Korean partners to the fact that Polish companies are also increasingly suppliers of highly advanced technological solutions. There are about 550 companies with Korean capital registered in Poland, half of which are located in Lower Silesia. In June of this year, the long-awaited production of polypropylene at the Polymary Police plant near Szczecin started. This is one of the largest absolute industrial investments in our country in recent times. Poland is a base for Korean companies in the European Union market. Poland, which has established strategic cooperation with Korea, is an important partner for Korea in Central Europe.
The Polish Senate has rejected a presidential amendment to the law on the establishment of a commission to investigate Russian influence on Poland's internal security between 2007 and 2022. The bill will now go again to the Sejm, which is likely to reject the Senate's position.
About the state commission to investigate Russian influence. The Senate delayed the presidential amendment until the last minute. Why is Mr. Grodzki and the Senate majority so keen on not setting up a commission to show the truth? Now the Senate's resolution will be taken up by the Parliament. All indications are that an additional session is to be held on July 28th. The Sejm will be unequivocal on this matter, as will the President, who has assured that he will sign this law right away. On May 29th, President Andrzej Duda signed a bill to establish a commission to investigate Russian influence in Poland. I decided to sign the bill. However, after opposition and international reaction, the President proposed an amendment. It is impossible to improve a complete legal mess. Mr. President, who is behaving, I would say, bizarrely in this matter, that is signing the law even before the signature came into effect, then proposed amendments, retracted what he signed. But this does not change the spirit of this law. The presidential amendment lifts the countermeasures. Without those regulations that raise the most concern, that is, preventative remedial measures, it should be signed by the President quickly, and there is a good chance that members will be named at the end of August. And in September, the commission will start working. 9 members will be appointed to the committee. Each parliamentary club will be able to nominate its candidate. Parliamentarians will not be allowed to sit on the committee. When the legislative process is finished, we will then proceed to elect its members. We hope that all parliamentary clubs will want to delegate their representatives to this commission, because it should be in everyone's interest to be open when it comes to the influence of Russian agents on the internal security of the Polish state. The left will not change its mind and will not appoint any members to the illegal commission that is supposed to account for the past for campaign purposes. Once the law is signed by the President, parliamentary clubs will have to select their candidates by the deadline indicated by Speaker Witek. Once all members have been appointed, the chairman of the committee will be chosen by those who make up the body. As originally intended, the chairman was indicated by the Prime Minister. The law amendment should be anti-Putin, and not, as the opposition says all the time, on Tusk, because after all, this is absurd. Unless they really think that he is the main person who has something to explain to the Commission, at least in light of what the film Reset shows. All indications predict that the Commission will begin work in September.
Earlier today, during the hottest part of the day, Greece closed the ancient Acropolis to protect tourists, while Croatian villagers cleaned up after a wildfire as a fierce heat wave swept across southern Europe.
The European Space Agency, whose satellites monitor land and sea temperatures, has warned that Italy, Spain, France, Germany, and Poland are all facing extreme conditions. Temperatures could break Europe's current record, 48.8 Celsius recorded in Sicily in August of 2021. The impact of extreme summer heat has been brought into focus by a study this week that said as many as 61,000 people may have died in the sweltering heat across Europe last summer.
The heat is very intense, and there's a lot of people. Hopefully no one will suffer any illness, but it was very intense heat. Yeah. So I think, the sun is very strong right now. A bit dangerous, it feels like.
The heat, it's hard, but we're going to push through it, and don't know if we'll ever be back, so we have to take advantage of the day. Yep. So stay hydrated, wear a hat, and take breaks where you can.
Volunteers came out to help people and give some useful advice on how to best deal with the heat wave in Greece.
Today we're here again to give people water and also to give leaflets concerning the high temperature period here in Greece. We're giving these instructions for everyone to see what to avoid to do.
Doctors in Spain warned that elderly people with existing health problems were most at risk. In Spain, the attributable mortality due to heat is about 11,300 people, and what extreme heat does is it threatens the health of people who already have chronic diseases. Joan Ballester, a professor at the Barcelona Institute for Global Health, said France had learned lessons from a deadly 2003 heat wave that countries such as Italy, Greece, Spain, and Portugal could follow. Basically, the most affected are Italy, Greece, then Spain and Portugal. These are countries that are also characterized by economic conditions that are not as advanced as the rest of the continent. Meanwhile, in Croatia, 56 firefighters with 20 vehicles and 3 aircraft had struggled to contain a bushfire that spread rapidly on Thursday due to strong southerly winds near the Adriatic town of Šibenik. We bought this house a year ago, and since then we've been renovating it until 10 days ago when we finished. And now everything has burned. And what can I tell you? You can see for yourself. And everything was new. Everything was furnished. Everything was brand new, even the kitchen. The village of Grebastica was devastated by the fire, with cars and homes destroyed.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please stay tuned for Poland Daily Weather, Poland Daily Business, and some of our other programs. But for me, it's have a wonderful weekend.